Hi parents, I just wanted to make one more video to help you guys out about how to navigate virtual learning as a parent, and hopefully give you some tips and tricks and some resources on where to find everything, just as a refresher, because we had some concerns about how they parents don't know where things are located. So I wanted to give you guys the tour of our Canvas page and some helpful tricks that might help you and your student. So this is our parent virtual learning parent survival guide. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is what we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about how to navigate Canvas, where your students' assignments are located, how you find missing work, um, what extra resources are available for your student, and any helpful tips. So the first thing I would like to share is what Canvas looks like. So if you're in Miss Woodard's class, your Canvas page is going to look a little bit different than what my class's Canvas page looks like, but I'm going to show off my class's Canvas page. Um, so everybody knows where to find what. The gist of it is pretty similar if you're in Miss Woodard's class. Mine has a little bit more just because I have more free time. I don't have kids, I don't have baseball. So I've spent a little more time working on my page. As teachers, we spend so much time doing stuff for school and then often don't have time outside of school. So it's very hard to balance that home and work life there. So, okay, so here's my class Canvas page. I have my welcome banner, which students know they can click and it gets them to a top secret homeroom location. There's just some fun tag activities on there and videos of me reading. I started reading Harry Potter. I haven't had a chance to continue. I think we're only on chapter 2 and I'm very far behind just because I've been so busy. But there's some other tag resources there, and I'll continue to add some resources as we progress throughout the school year. And then we have our morning meeting button. So students can click this button or they can go into their daily page and click the morning meeting link. It's the same link. And then I often give announcements here. So I have our Red Ribbon announcements and what we're doing each and every day for Red Ribbon Week. I have our announcement about our study hall session offering for students who need to come and um, do some work. I'll talk more about this later in our presentation. But if you click this button, it'll take you to the study hall Zoom link. I post daily on my page what they have to do for each lesson for their independent work for the day. So for reading today, they needed to do conflict and resolution. They needed to watch a read aloud. They needed to do art controlled syllables. They needed to complete their lit circle job, and then they should have done independent reading. For math, they needed to do Edpuzzle for lesson 4, the Google Slides for lesson 4, and Zearn for lesson 4. And then for science, they have a discussion post, they have a learn something new article and videos to watch, and then they have a show what you know quiz. I also give other announcements that often change here. So there's extra help. This has been an announcement for the past 2 weeks that our extra math help is on Tuesdays and Fridays at 2:15. And then here I have our missing assignments. So I've added a button for science missing assignments. So those are by lesson, which is each day is a different lesson. And then our math missing assignments are by the actual day. So I have lesson 14 Google Slides and lesson 15 exit ticket or lesson 13 exit ticket. And those were done on the same day. So they're sorted out by date. And then I have a button that brings students to their literature circle jobs in case they forgot how their job was supposed to run. I also have a clock for students if they need it. And then we get to the important part, which is the same on both mine and Mrs. Woodard's pages. So these buttons have been here all year, and they take you to the daily assignments for the day. So we will look in those buttons in just a minute. There's a star button to go to learning resources. There's a lot of good resources for parents. That hasn't been totally updated. I was updating math resources, but then I kind of fell behind there. So my goal this week is to update them to be ready for the next marking period when we start our new module, module 3. And then here you can access, in where this Zoom button is, you can access previous lessons. The lessons do delete after 30 days. So my beginning of the year lessons are starting to delete. So I need to go in and clean that up a little bit. And then this robot will take you to the very beginning of the year, the first week of school, when we were navigating through how to navigate through Canvas. That'll bring you through every single lesson again. And then this is our button for extra math help. If students need to come to extra math help, this button leads them to Zoom. So almost every picture is clickable. Okay, there are actually, I don't think there's any pictures on here that aren't clickable. So every picture you should be able to click on and get somewhere else. So that is what our Canvas home page looks like, and where to find all of those different resources. Okay, so then I've had a lot of parents concerned because they don't know what their student is supposed to be doing throughout the day. So that's what I'm going to show you next. So in our Canvas page, I know on my page I put a list for each subject, but even if there wasn't a list up here, it's all in the buttons. Okay, so I just put it 2 different places so students see it more than once. But inside each of the buttons, when you click on the button, it goes through every single thing that the student should be doing that day. This is like their daily guide, what they're going through for each and every lesson, what Zoom meetings they're supposed to be at. This is like their daily go to, what am I supposed to be doing page. So we have our morning meeting every single day. Okay. And then to get there, you can click this link. Okay. And then it tells you the time that you need to log on. Same thing for resource. Each day of the week has a different resource. So on Monday, my class has library, and I know Miss Woodard's class has PE. And we both have what specific resource they're supposed to go to. They can access their resource Zoom link through the resource page, but also we give it, or I've given it to them here, just so they don't have to click out and get all confused and all of their Zoom links are in different places. I wanted all of their Zoom links to be in one place so that they knew where to find them all. And then we have what we're doing in math. So the learning target for today is up here. Okay, for each and every day, there is our learning target. So what they're actually doing in the lesson. And then it tells them specifically what each piece they're supposed to be doing. Okay, so you need to first do Edpuzzle, then do your Google Slides, and then do Zearn. Okay, and then I gave them a resource. If they forgot what math group they're in, they should know by now because we've been doing it for a whole 9 weeks. And then our link to our Zoom meeting, which I know students have had not had any trouble navigating to that resource. And then for reading, it has all of their different assignments. I pull the reading assignments straight from this page to put on my front page. So today they need to do conflict resolution, then their read aloud, then their R controlled syllables, then their Lit Circle job, then their independent reading. Okay, for science, we have, oh, you know what? My front page was not updated on science. But this is where it is updated on science. So lesson 11 is getting started. They're doing a survey. I must not have updated it yesterday. And then they have 2 learn something new. So they have one about eclipses and one about solar eclipses. And then we do have a science Zoom meeting today, so that it's telling them what time they need to log on and the link to their meeting. Now, Each of these buttons, with the exception of morning meeting and resource, those don't have any, those are not attached to any links, but all of the other buttons you can click on and it'll take you to the specific assignment. So when you click on this link, that is where all of their work is located. So let's look at the math link first. So when you click on the math link, this is the page it brings you to. It says, it gives you the date. Okay, so if I did not update the link, then it would be the wrong date. So double check the date. And if it's wrong, please let me know because it just means I forgot to do something. It tells them when their assignment is due. Okay, it tells them what specifically they're supposed to do. They need to watch the video, then following the video, they need to complete their Google Slides. These are the things they're going to need to watch the video. Okay. And then here is where you access the video. They can click on this link. It'll bring them to Edpuzzle. Everybody, if they have previously signed into Edpuzzle and joined my class, should be able to access this resource. If they have not joined my class, that means they are far behind in Edpuzzle videos and they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing in order to be successful in math this marking period. So once they've done that and watched the video, then they need to come back to Canvas and just click next. Okay. So next is going to bring them to their Google Slides practice. This will bring them to the Google Slides practice. They need to click this button right here that says load work on it, Eureka Module 2 lesson number 4 in a new window. It will put it into a new window, but it makes it much bigger for them to work on. I could have had it so that it was in this window, but it's teeny tiny and very hard to see. So I wanted it to be bigger. Okay. And then that is exactly how they work on their Google Slides work. And then once so when it loads in a new window, let me see if it'll load for me. Sometimes it does not load for me. Yes. So once it loads in their new window over here, right here, above where their picture is, they will have a blue button that says submit. They need to make sure they click that button after completing their whole assignment. To make this assignment even bigger in their screen, they can click this link right here and it'll take them to the actual Google Docs. They just need to come back to this page and click submit when they're done. And then after they're done with that, they need to click next. And then it brings them to a page about Zearn. This is how to log on if they have never logged on before or if they forget their username. And then there's a video on how to log on. And then once they're done with Zearn, which does take them to a new page, it takes them out of Canvas, but they can always come back to Canvas and then click next. And it should keep it up as a tab. So there's no reason why it shouldn't. And then once you get to the balloons that says you're done with math, you know you're done with your math assignments for the day. Okay. The only other thing you have to do for math is make sure you Zoom with me. And when you Zoom with me, I put in the exit tickets into our Zoom chat. So if your students are having missing exit tickets, it's because they're either not coming to Zoom or they're not clicking on them at the end of our Zoom meeting. Okay, so we can go back out to our Monday page. And then the same thing is for reading. Once you click on reading, it'll bring you to the first thing you have to do in the module. There's a quiz. So then you're going to click next after you do that. And then here's the read aloud. So you need to watch that and then click next after they do the assignment that goes along with that. Okay. And then there's information for the Lit Circle jobs. And then you click next. So you keep going through the module, through every single activity. Here's the activity for our controlled syllables. Okay, and then there's an independent reading page that you'll come to. And then you get to a Google Slides or a page that says you're done with reading and writing for the day. So that's how you know you're done with all of your reading work that you needed to do for that day. So we're going to go back to our Monday page. Oh no, I went too far. Okay, and then we're gonna go through our science. So science is exactly the same. You're gonna do the survey first and then click next once you're finished with that. And then you're gonna do learn something new and then click next. And then I have one more learn something new. And then once you're done reading and watching the video, you're going to click next, and eventually you will come to a stop sign. And that is how you know you're done with your science lesson for the day. So all of our stuff for our students and for our work is housed in each and every button throughout the activity. So on Tuesday, this is what you're doing, and you would go through the math page by page exactly the same way we did with Monday. It's like that every day. It has been like that every single week. So if your student was confused on how to find something, they did not pay attention during the first week when we went over this step by step. Okay, so all of the assignments are in each daily page. All of the assignments for my class are on our home page. Okay, and so that's how you find all of the assignments for your students. Okay, so how do I know what my student forgot to complete and where do they access it in order to complete it? So I have been trying really hard to go in for math every day to make sure that I put whether your child has completed the Google Slides assignment or has not completed the Google Slides assignment. Exit tickets go up on Fridays, and I have been trying to do science work, update science work on Fridays just because I've been a little bit overwhelmed. Hopefully in the new marking period, I'm definitely in the new marking period going to be updating science and social studies. It'll be social studies in the new marking period. I'm going to be updating that daily so you can check the following day if your student did the assignment for the previous day. So in parent view is where you would find those two subjects. I'm not entirely sure about reading, but I know for reading, you can check the calendar in Canvas and it'll show you the missing work. So here's where your calendar would be located. When you click on that, you'll see all of your assignments that your student or all of your students' assignments that they have not completed. I would show you my calendar, but mine looks a little bit different. To find your missing assignments for reading, it's all in the calendar. Everything is in the calendar for reading. For science and math, all of the missing assignments are if it's during that week, like if you found your student didn't complete Thursday's assignment, it is going to continue to be in Thursday's button until probably Sunday. Okay. On Sunday, I take all of the assignments and link them in our missing assignment buttons right here. So here's all of our missing assignments for, or all of the assignments we've done since September the 18th, really, because we had a weekend assignment that week. So all of the assignments that we've done so in the past 5 weeks are all linked here. Okay, all of the assignments for this week are linked in our buttons. So on Sunday, I'm going to put those assignments in that missing assignment button. Same thing goes with science now. So science, all of the missing assignments are here. So these are from the past 2 weeks because we just introduced science back in. So that's where you find your missing assignments. Okay, so extra help from us. Some extra help that I'm offering is I am offering study hall. Okay, so study hall is a place for students to come and just work alongside an adult. I know there are parents who are working not from home and students are in a learning center, or students might be on their own or with a grandparent, and parents are not readily available to help them with their assignments. So they can come to study hall and ask me questions. I can keep them on task, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's just an extra set of eyes on your student to help hold them accountable for their work. My study hall times are going to change daily based on the schedule that I have, because sometimes I have meetings come up. Sometimes I have other work that I have to do where I can't be on Zoom. And so I am just trying to do my best as far as making sure I update those times every single day so that students know when they can come to me for help. But anytime they need me and my study hall Zoom is open, they are more than welcome to come. I sit and work on my work and they can sit and work on their work, but I'm just here in case they have questions or need to ask me something. This is a great resource for kids who need somebody to help hold them accountable, for kids who do have parents at home, but they might be working on their work for their job and don't have time to immediately assist them right away, for students who might be at learning centers where there are not, where there might be teachers or there might be counselors and they don't really know the ins and outs of the curriculum. I'm available to help with any subject, math, science, or reading if they need it. So that has been a great tool. Some kids have used it every single day just because they feel like they need somebody to be there with them, in case they get lost, in case they get confused, to help hold them accountable. Another resource I'm providing is extra math help. And I give extra math help on Tuesdays and Fridays at 2:15. We go over either assessments from the week before, we go over missed skills. Sometimes I ask them what they want to go over, what they feel like they need more practice with. This is a great
Hey, Miss
resource.
Eva, you have a delivery in the foyer. Miss Eva, a delivery in the foyer.
This is a great resource for students who need extra support with Eureka Math. But this will not be helpful for students who come and don't participate. So if they come and just don't solve the problems with us or aren't participating, it's really not doing anything for them other than them being on Zoom for an extra half an hour. Um, it also wouldn't be very helpful for students who haven't watched the video and done everything else that they need to do. I do have many students who come who have watched their videos, who have done the Google Slides practice, who come to Zoom with me and are still a little bit confused. This resource is very helpful to them because they can come and ask questions, what they're not quite understanding, and I can help clarify anything that might need clearing up for them. So that is another resource that I'm providing in my extra time for our students. And then just some helpful hints that might help you and your student if you feel like virtual learning is a lot for them. My hints or tips would be to first prioritize tasks, and I would create a to-do list. If you know that every single day you have to watch Edpuzzle for math, you know every single day you have to do Google Slides, every single day you have to do Zearn. There are 3 things you have to do every day. Actually, we'll add exit ticket in there too. So 4 things you need to make sure you're doing on your own. Okay, I would write them in a checklist so that your student can say, okay, I've done my Edpuzzle, I can check that off. Now I know I only have 3 more things to do for math. I've done my Google Slides, now I know I only have 2 more things to do for math. And if you make a checklist with math and then reading and then science, they can make sure they're going through in the correct order. Or if you're in Miss Woodard's class, you can put reading at the top and then math and then science. Okay. So definitely I would recommend to anybody who needs help prioritizing tasks. Finding a place where they can keep all of their materials. A lot of students come to class or come to my math Zooms and don't have their whiteboard or don't have their marker. So if there's one place in your house where they can make sure that they keep all of their stuff together and then maybe move it with them to the computer, or maybe it sits beside their computer, just having all of their materials together in one place would be beneficial to every student, whether they're struggling or not. And then give them a school space. If you have room in your house where they can have their own space or their own desk to keep all of their stuff, or even just like a table for them to sit at when they're doing Zoom, that would be very helpful. A lot of students we've found will lay down during their Zoom, roll around, be in their bed, and that's just not very conducive to learning. I am all about flexible seating and sitting where you can focus best, but sometimes when you're laying in your bed, that's just not going to help you do better at school. So make sure you know where your student is learning at and make sure they're learning in the best place that works for them. And then my last tip would be place responsibility on them. A lot of them are not living up to fourth grade tag potential. And I feel like as teachers and as parents, we're doing too much work for the students. They should be, we're in fourth grade tag, we're working very much towards getting them ready for fifth grade tag and for middle school and making sure that they are keeping up with their learning independently is a huge thing for fourth grade tag. I know it is hard. I know virtual learning is hard, but students should be able to be responsible for making sure that they're taking ownership of their learning. If you as a parent are forcing them to learn, or if I as a teacher are forcing them to learn, they're not getting everything they need to get out of school. They have to have that motivation and they have to take ownership over their own learning. And I think that's really the only way they're really going to be successful in fourth grade tag. We have extremely high expectations. I have extremely high expectations for all of my students, and I hold them to those expectations. So I just wanted to make sure that those are the end of my tips. So I just wanted to make sure I touched base with parents and provided all of the extra help and support that I possibly can. I know virtual learning is hard. I know it's hard as a parent. I know it's hard as a working parent. I am not a parent myself, so I can't imagine what parents are going through. But I do know that I want to provide as much support as I possibly can. This is a hard time for everybody. So I just wanted to make sure that parents knew what to look for, what to expect. Hopefully in the second marking period, we can give more of like a weekly syllabus so that you can make a checklist for the week instead of just for the day. But a good way to be able to do that is go through each and every day and look and say, okay, this, I know you have to do this for math this day, this for math on Tuesday, this for math on Wednesday, this for math on Thursday, and this for math on Friday. And I can write it all out in one great checklist. Printing it off the computer is a great idea. Putting it into a whiteboard or a page protector so that they can check it off as a whiteboard, anything like that would just be immensely helpful. Please, please, please let me know if there's anything else I can do to help you. Will gladly make more training videos for you or helpful hint videos. I am here for you guys to make your lives with virtual school easier.